Being too nice may seem like a virtue, but it can become your silent assassin. When you constantly say yes to others while screaming no inside, you slowly lose pieces of yourself. You shrink your desires, your dreams, and even your voice just to keep others comfortable. But guess what? People start expecting it. They treat your kindness as a given, not a gift, and you're left exhausted, resentful, and empty. This isn't compassion, it's self-destruction. The world doesn't reward martyrs. It respects boundaries. Niceness without limits is not love, it's self-abandonment. The more you accommodate, the more you disappear. You think you're being loved for your softness, but you're being used for your silence. Wake up. The world will not pause to thank you for breaking yourself in the name of being agreeable. You've been taught that being nice makes you a good person, so you smiled when you were insulted. You stayed silent when you were disrespected. You forgave when you weren't even asked, but here's the truth nobody told you. People don't respect doormats, they wipe their feet on them. Being overly nice isn't kindness, it's fear wearing a smile. You fear rejection, confrontation, and judgment, so you wear masks and play roles just to be accepted. But in doing so, you betray the most important person, yourself. Real kindness includes self-respect. And real strength sometimes means saying no, walking away or standing your ground, even if your voice shakes. You're not here to please everyone. You're here to be real, to be whole, and to live with dignity. Stop watering dead plants in the name of peace. Every time you let someone cross a line without consequence, you teach them how to treat you. You set the standard for your own worth through what you allow. Think about that. If you constantly show up for people who never show up for you, that's not loyalty. It's self-neglect. Being nice is only noble when it's not rooted in desperation for approval. Too many people are addicted to being needed because they think that's the only way to matter. But when your self-worth depends on how useful you are to others, you become a prisoner of your own kindness. People don't change when you keep rewarding their bad behavior with your silence. Stop making excuses for those who wouldn't lift a finger for you. Love yourself enough to stop breaking for those who wouldn't bend for you. Look around. You're the one who always listens, always there, always understanding. Yet when you need someone, it's silence. That's not a coincidence. It's a pattern. You've taught them that your needs come last. You've trained them to see your time and energy as endlessly available. And the worst part, you've started to believe that being needed is the same as being valued. It's not. You're not a vending machine for emotional support. You're a human being with limits, with needs, with dreams that deserve as much attention as anyone else's. Being endlessly nice has left you emotionally bankrupt, and no one's offering to refill you. Stop apologizing for drawing boundaries. Stop being loyal to people who are only loyal to their convenience. It's not selfish to put yourself first. It's survival. There's a difference between kindness and weakness. And the moment you realize that, your life will change. Niceness is often praised by those who benefit from your submission. But strength, that threatens them. Because strength says, I choose who gets access to me. Strength says, I don't tolerate disrespect, even if it comes wrapped in a smile. Being too nice is like offering your soul on a silver platter to people who don't even know your name. They'll eat until you're empty and then walk away without a thank you. Protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Nice is easy. Everyone can be nice, but being kind and powerful, that takes courage, that takes standards, and the world desperately needs people who can be both. You think being nice keeps the peace. But what peace is it really when you're the only one bleeding to maintain it? You avoid conflict, but inside you're at war with yourself. You let things slide, but inside you're collecting wounds. That fake peace you're preserving is costing you your authenticity. Being too nice silences your voice, your truth, your fire. It teaches you to shrink in rooms where you were meant to rise. The world doesn't need more agreeable people. It needs more people brave enough to speak truth with love. Stop calling it maturity when it's really fear. Stop calling it selflessness when it's actually self-erasure. You deserve to be heard, not just tolerated. You deserve space, not just presence. Let your voice shake if it must, but let it be heard. You've mistaken being liked for being loved, and that's where the destruction begins, because being liked is often about performance. It means adjusting yourself to fit other people's comfort zones, but being loved, that comes from being real, raw, unfiltered. You don't need to be everyone's favorite. You just need to be authentic. When you're too nice, you often tolerate the intolerable just to avoid being seen as difficult. But in doing so, you bury your power under layers of false peace, and the more you pretend, the more disconnected you become from others, yes, but more dangerously from yourself. There's nothing noble in silencing your truth just to keep the room calm. Sometimes shaking the room is exactly what's needed to remind others, and yourself, what you stand for. Let's be honest. Being too nice is exhausting. You smile when you don't want to. You agree when your heart screams no. You show up for people who wouldn't do the same for you, and every night you feel drained, wondering why you're never enough. But here's the truth. You were never supposed to be everything for everyone. That's a job no human can do. You're burning out because you've built your identity around being the good one. But goodness without boundaries turns into burnout. Being too nice teaches others that your time, your energy, your emotions, they're all disposable. It's not mean to have limits. It's healthy, and it's necessary. You don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your peace. You only owe yourself a life that feels like freedom. People will take as much as you allow. That's the law of energy, and when you're too nice, you unknowingly invite users, manipulators, and emotional vampires into your life. They smell your kindness like wolves smell blood, and they'll smile, flatter, even love, bomb you, until they get what they want, then disappear. The danger of being too nice is not just that you get hurt, it's that you keep blaming yourself for it. You think if you were just nicer, more patient, more giving, they would have stayed. No, the problem was never your effort. It was your inability to discern who's worthy of it. You have to stop handing out VIP access to people who shouldn't even be in the parking lot of your life. Kindness should be sacred, not scattered. Being too nice makes you predictable, and predictability is easy to manipulate. When people know you'll always say yes, always forgive, always stay, they stop valuing your presence. You become background noise in your own life. People crave mystery, depth, and challenge, not compliance. If your kindness becomes a script everyone can predict, they'll start tuning you out. You must reclaim your power by becoming unpredictable, not with cruelty, but with self-respect. Say no when you mean no. Speak up when something feels wrong. Walk away when respect is gone. The world respects those who respect themselves. Stop making niceness your personality. Make authenticity your power. The right people will still love you, and the wrong ones, let them go. You're not here to babysit egos. Every time you bend over backward for others, ask yourself this: who's bending for me? If the answer is no one, you're not in a relationship, you're in a transaction. Being too nice often attracts the wrong kind of people, those who see you as an opportunity, not a person. Your kindness becomes currency in a one-sided exchange where you're always paying. You deserve more than to be someone's emotional cushion or backup plan. You deserve reciprocity, but you can't receive that until you start demanding it, not through anger or bitterness, but through clear standards. Stop entertaining people who only come around when it's convenient. Stop giving passes to those who wouldn't lift a finger if the roles were reversed. You're not difficult. You're just finally learning what you deserve. Nice people often carry the deepest anger, not because they're bad, but because they've suppressed their truth for too long. That silent rage builds like pressure in a pipe, and eventually it explodes, or it breaks you quietly. Being too nice means you absorb the pain others should be responsible for. You internalize every wrong, every slight, and still smile like everything's fine. But it's not fine. You deserve to feel safe enough to express anger, sadness, disappointment, without guilt. Emotions aren't bad, suppressing them is. You don't have to be the bigger person every time. Sometimes being the healthier person means speaking your truth, even if it shakes the room. You're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to feel. That's not weakness, that's healing. You're not here to be palatable. You're not ice cream. You're a storm, a fire, a soul with depth. Being too nice has tricked you into believing your edges are flaws. They're not. They're protection. They're honesty. Your truth may not always be pretty, but it's yours. And those who can't handle it, they were never meant to stay. Stop shrinking to fit spaces that were never built for your power. Niceness without authenticity is just performance, and you weren't born to perform. You were born to live. Boldly, loudly, without apology. The world doesn't change from silence. It changes from those brave enough to speak, even when their voice trembles. So speak, not to be liked, but to be real. That's where your freedom lies. You don't have to explain your boundaries. They are not up for debate. Being too nice makes you believe that every no needs a reason. It doesn't. No is a complete sentence, and the moment you realize that, you begin to take your power back. People who truly respect you will never be offended by your boundaries. Only those who benefited from your lack of them will. Let that sink in. Every time you say yes out of guilt, you plant seeds of resentment. And resentment is poison to the soul. Don't let guilt manipulate you into betraying yourself. You are not responsible for managing other people's emotions at the cost of your own peace. That's not compassion. It's codependency. Protect your energy. It's sacred, and you don't owe it to everyone. The world doesn't need more people who are endlessly nice. It needs more people who are ruthlessly authentic. Being too nice is destroying your identity, diluting your truth, and draining your life force. It's time to stop, not to become cold or heartless, but to become whole. Being kind should never mean becoming invisible. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to choose yourself. This isn't selfish, it's essential. The people who truly matter will rise to meet your worth. The rest, let them fall away. Your life is not a charity project. It's a sacred journey, and you deserve to walk it in power, not in pleasing. Choose you every time, without guilt, without shame, without fear.